Sunday service. It's 10 a.m. on the Pacific Coast, and that means we're going to start with our stillness meditation. So for about the next 20 to 25 minutes, we're going to journey into the stillness, communing with Spirit. And so if you're joining us for the first time, you're going to want to find a place to get comfortable, sit down, maybe close the door, and turn off any distractions. And if you've been joining us for a while, you know what to do. We want to find a place where we can allow ourselves to relax, and just always remembering the intention is that all the channels, all the meridians of the physical, emotional, and mental bodies are wide open, and that we allow ourselves to go into the deepest, most profound state of divine awareness. I'll center us. We'll stay in the stillness for a little while. I'll bring us out in prayer. And then after that, we'll get ready for the rest of our service that officially starts at 10:30. So as you have found that place to sit and be comfortable, perhaps you're sitting lotus style or Indian style or with your feet firmly on the ground, finding a place for your hands and arms to relax, and we are ready to begin. And as always, I'm going to invite you, if for any reason you want to do this as an open-eyed meditation, you're more than welcome to. Make sure you just find one place to focus your eyes. If your eyes wander, your mind will wander. Otherwise, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. And as always, we begin by first giving ourselves permission to relax. Just saying to ourselves and our minds, I give myself permission to relax. As we invite, as we evoke, and as we allow the divine energies of peace and love, wellness and goodness, harmony and joy to wash over us and to rise up from within us. Knowing that we have no place to go, we have nothing to do except completely surrender into the deepest states of divine awareness. I'm going to invite you, without changing anything at all, to just bring your awareness to your breathing with the intention that we are allowing our breath to become fuller and deeper and wider and fresher. No efforting, no trying, just intending and observing. I'm going to invite you to become aware of the full breath, imagining for a moment that your crown at the top of your head is wide open, like the dome of an observatory, open to gaze at the cosmos fully. I invite you to imagine you are inhaling a vapor of light, a brilliant, celestial, holy light. And as you inhale that light, you can feel it coming in through your crown, tingling and traveling down along the spine into your hips, where it rounds forward at the tailbone. And as you exhale, you can feel it rise up the front of your body and release from your crown. We call this the full breath. No efforting, no trying, just inhaling. Feel it tingle and travel down along the spine into your hips. Exhaling, feeling it rise up the front of your body and releasing. And then letting go. And should you ever become distracted during our time in communion with Spirit, you can bring yourself back to the holy breath, the full breath. Our intention is to allow that breath to become fuller, deeper, wider, and fresher, all on its own. We take a moment, and as our breathing expands slowly and gently, bring your awareness to your heart center and allow your heart to smile. Imagine the energy of joy and peace as our hearts smile, and it begins to bring that smile up to our face. And as we allow our face and our heart to fill with the energy of peace and joy, we take a moment and we begin to notice in our deliberate communion with Spirit a contagion of relaxation and rejuvenation that begins to infiltrate the body. We take a moment and we allow every morsel and muscle of the physical body to feel the light expanding. We begin to feel all the cells in all the muscles and all the organs illuminating from the inside out as the holy light of the divine washes over us from the outside in. This holy convergence begins to soften and strengthen, to relax and rejuvenate the ankles, the calves and shins, the thighs and hamstrings. It begins to rejuvenate and relax the organs, the intestines, the stomach, kidneys, the adrenals, pancreas, the entire lower torso flooding with wellness and relaxation. We begin to feel the heart and lungs flooding with light as this contagion of peace and wellness continues to fill and thrill the entire physical body. You can feel all heaviness, all density, and all distractions evaporating. We allow ourselves to let go of any tension as relaxation and freedom and spaciousness tingles into the cheeks and the scalp, and that energy begins to ripple and roll, to flow and glow into our emotional body. And you can feel the fortifying nectar of divine strength glowing and flowing into the emotional body, recalibrating. A deeper sense of compassion, love, and understanding than ever before. We can feel the energy, that holy light, rippling and rolling out into the mental body. And as the mental body floods with clarity, we choose to let go of all thoughts, all thinking, analyzing, all words, allowing the surface mind to merge with the holy mind, the energy of the soul. We allow ourselves to awaken and open to revelation, inspiration, and providence. And take a moment as we let go of time and space. We let go of the past. We let go of the future. We let go of the present. And we open even more to the eternal. To the light, the love, the grace, the beauty. And we feel our heart merge with the very heart of God. We feel the energy slowly and gently lifting us into the eternal light of the bliss body. And it is here that we are fortified, that we rejuvenate, that we rest and relax in the stillness. continue to bathe, commune, and breathe in the holy light, we become aware that there's an effulgent radiance that is always seeking to lavish us. That this rejuvenating nectar, the holy light of God, is always seeking to expand us, to grow us, to lift us in benevolent and beautiful ways. We take a moment in this field of ever-expanding good, and we make it very personal, this expansion. We take a moment and we intend and choose to expand our capacities to hold more good than ever before. We remember that the very nature of life, the very nature of the universe of God, is blessings and brilliance beyond our wildest dreams, and so we open to that. We know this is a time of expansion. So we make it personal in our own lives by choosing to expand our capacities to hold more wellness and more vitality than ever before. We allow every muscle, organ, bone, ligament, joint, cartilage, and tissue of our beingness, physically, emotionally, and mentally, to so fill with the light of rejuvenation. We choose to expand and regenerate. We don't need to know how or why. We simply open into this field and we allow. We take a moment as we allow that vitality. We give it full permission to expand benevolently, brilliantly, and beautifully, knowing this is the nature of God, the nature of life. And we open our hearts and we expand our capacities to hold more love and more joy, more compassion, more beauty. Then we open our hearts to hold more self-love than ever before, stretching our heart centers, fortifying, amplifying, and magnifying the energy of divine strength within our own beingness as we return to the beginning. We return to the beginning of our own light. We take a moment and we feel the wave of blessings that always washes over us, beginning to expand our capacities to feel and see and hear and know the holy call of providence, the voice, the call of the soul, that is always seeking to bring us to greater and grander experiences of serendipity and synchronicity. We open into this field and we allow that energy of clarity to stretch and expand our optimism, our faith, that we are divinely expectant, that we are seeking, finding, and expecting our good all the time. Even in challenging times, we allow ourselves to be available to the good that is seeking to emerge. And so I'm grateful to know that each and every one of us, as we steep in this holy light, as we allow ourselves to be rejuvenated, regenerated, to be recalibrated and expanded, this is the very process of anchoring heaven on earth through us. And as that energy washes over us, as it rises up from within us, we know in the material world, the law of creation stipulates that we must invite it, we must evoke it, and then we must allow it and ground it into our bones and into our beingness. And to the degree that we ground the highest, greatest, grandest vision and version of good in our lives is to the degree that we experience it. So I'm going to invite you to join me as we ground the energy, we embody it, we imbue it, we allow the law of emergence and the law of radiance to have its way to, through, and as our beingness. We follow the energy, the flow of the law of creation as it pulses down from our soul star through our crown, through our third eye, throat, and heart center, our solar plexus, sacrum, and root, down through our legs. And I invite you to once again bring your awareness to your earth star, your 10th chakra, at the lower bottom outer edge of your auric field. If you are standing, you would see it or sense it about a meter or more, 5 or 6 feet beneath the bottoms of your feet. A brilliant starburst of light where our energy merges with the material world, with Mother Earth. And as we commune with Gaia, as we commune with Spirit, as we feel the oneness in all life, the goodness in all life, we make it personal by grounding it. We ground peace on earth, love on earth, wellness on earth, joy on earth, harmony and reverence and respect on earth through us. And as we rise, all unto us rise. And I'm grateful in this moment that we have all said yes to a greater and grander experience of love, of oneness, of communion with Spirit, knowing that each and every one of us born in the image and likeness of God, the very same power, the elegance, the brilliance that illuminates every star and every galaxy, that illuminates our hearts, the very same energy that orbits the planets beats our hearts, and the very same energy that breathes our breath brings us the holy light of infinite beauty. We open to that. And as we ground these energies, we move into a place of divine receptivity. We must not only invite, evoke, but in the allowing, we must claim and agree to allow it to be. And we do so. In the mechanism of free will and free choice, we claim it so, we allow it to be so elegantly, brilliantly, benevolently, by signing on the spiritual dotted line and saying, and so it is. Amen. And just taking a moment, if you haven't already, to go ahead and open your eyes. I welcome you back, taking a moment to marinate in the energy. Again, if you're just joining in, we just finished our stillness meditation, our communion with Spirit, priming ourselves for expansion, priming ourselves for more good. That is the nature of life. So welcome. My name is Reverend Keith. We're getting ready to start our Sunday service, and it's going to be beginning in a few moments. Just give it a couple minutes to set up. We will be starting at about 10:30 or thereabouts, maybe a little bit before. We got a beautiful day for you. We, of course, well, maybe you don't know, but we have Jacqueline Brown Benefield who's joining us and is going to be radiating her gifts and her beauty and her amazing voice with us today. So we're grateful for that. We're going to go ahead and prepare. We'll be ready in a couple minutes. So if you need to use the restroom, now would be the time. But be back, be quick. You got about 2 minutes. 2 minutes before we get going. All right. See you in a few. morning, Soul Center. My name is Reverend Keith again. I will welcome you if you're just joining now. And if you're just coming in after our meditation, welcome. It's 10:30 on the Pacific Coast, and we are welcoming you to Soul Center OC. We're getting ready to start our Sunday service. We have a few announcements. We've got our reading, our affirmations coming up. We've got Jacqueline Brown Benefield as our musical inspiration today, so we've got a great program for you. And as always, for the time being, we are live streaming only. So I'm going to invite you to, make sure you check our website for any updates, soulcenteroc.com. Sign up for our newsletter at our website so we can keep you informed on what's going on in the community, classes and otherwise, and that's what we're here for right now. I have a few announcements, but before I start the announcements, I also wanted to just say, our beloved founders, Patricia Griffith and Jessica Susalik, we love you so much, and we're looking forward to, you always kind of come out and get us started. This would be the point where you're doing this right now. And so I just want to give my profound gratitude. And as always, we love you. We're looking forward. One of our first announcements is that we may, don't hold me to it, but we may be coming back to in-person services in July. So we will keep you posted. But that's what it's looking like at the moment. But we'll see. We got to go on a day by day, week by week. But if the decision was being made today and nothing changed, then that's what it would be looking like after the 4th of July. But we'll keep you posted. Again, sign up at soulcenteroc.com for our newsletter. Stay abreast of everything that's going on. Everything that is going on are that we are continually grateful for all of those who have been serving in our community. There's still work going on behind the scenes. So thank you to everybody who's been serving. And thank you to all of those who have been continuing to tithe and keep the flow going, because we still have all of our expenses, all of our overhead. So we're very grateful for those of you who have kind of leapt in and pick up the slack. If you are streaming right now on Facebook Live or on Instagram, please at some point make your way over to soulcenteroc.com. You can find all of our live streaming archive videos there. Some of the music videos are there, and other information. You can also live stream straight from soulcenteroc.com if you go to the live Sunday services live streaming link. That's also where, like I said, you can sign up for our newsletter. Right now, our classes are just about to come to a conclusion, our spring class. And so right now we have our Course in Miracles, which is ongoing every Tuesday evening, and right now it is online only, streaming via Zoom. You can come in or out of that wonderful class with our beloved Akili Beckwith anytime, and everybody else who makes that class so incredible. Dovetails right with our agape teachings. Let's see, we are grateful for all of our team leads. We are grateful for everybody who's been serving in our community, and we're grateful for everybody who's holding all those who are on our prayer lists in consciousness. We still are having our daily affirmative prayer call, which I facilitate Monday through Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So if you want to join in, you can join in via Facebook Live, or you can join in via Zoom. The information is at our website. It is also posted on Facebook. There are ways if you want to zoom in, because we know there are some people who aren't on Facebook. I think that covers all of our announcements. We're getting ready for our congregation song, and so I'm going to invite the beloved Jacqueline Brown Benefield to come on in and lead us in our congregation song.
Good morning, everybody. It's so wonderful to be back with Reverend Keith and to be here with you all this morning. So we're going to do our opening song, I Release. And I think I'm feeling light and bouncy today, so I think that's how I'm going to do it. So, there was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my arms are open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. And no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I'll see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my arms are open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and let go, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my arms are open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Thank you.
Thank you. Woo. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. That was beautiful. Acapella was incredible. I hope your sound quality on your end is as good as it is here live, because absolutely incredible. Oh, all right, we are getting ready to continue on with our service. We're going to have Jerome, who I am just so grateful for. Every week he's been just really stepping up and giving our reading and our affirmations, so I'm grateful to have him back. He's been a trooper. We love him, and he's going to come forward. Like I said, we're going to have our reading, our affirmations, and we will continue with our service.
Good morning, everyone. Our reading this morning is from Agape's Daily Inspiration Guide, Inner Visions, by Willard Williams, titled The Illusion of Darkness. In Sunday school, we used to sing a song called The Sun is Always Shining. It was a hymn that basically said that no matter what the Earth's position was in the universe, the sun, its source of light, is always shining. And although this Earth rotates away from the sun, there is really no darkness, only the absence of the sun. The mystical message here was that the light of the universe is never extinguished, and it only is when we turn away from the light that we experience darkness. But we give darkness too much credit. Darkness in many instances scares us. The conception of darkness separates this universe into two separate worlds, one of light and one that is dark. If the light of the world is always shining, how can there be any darkness? There can only be one source, and that is light. What we call darkness is only the absence or obscurity of light. Think of it as being blindfolded. The light never leaves. It is only blocked. Light is always present. We don't have to live or suffer in the illusion of darkness when the light of the universe is always illuminating within us. We can see the light by focusing our attention on illuminating qualities such as gratitude, thanksgiving, peace, love, and joy. These qualities are encoded in our spiritual DNA. Let us pray with Reverend Keith.
Oh, thank you, Jerome. Thank you, Willard, for your beautiful writing. We take a moment as we turn within. We turn within as we turn our attention away from the world of effects. Not that we are ignoring anything, but we are bringing our awareness, as Willard mentioned, to the light of ever-expanding good, the light and the love in the very heart of God. We open in a field of gratitude, knowing that right where we are, God is, love is, peace is, joy is. We open to the omniamorous, all-loving omnipresence and potence of God. We open to that light in the great remembering of knowing that each and every one of us is on a lifelong journey to reveal that we are all born in the image and likeness of God. And we will know every day even more what that means with more profound integrity and knowingness revealing itself. We have chosen to awaken to this, to awaken to the infinite glory and the wisdom of what it means that the very power that orbits our beloved earth around the sun, the very power that can strike lightning from the clouds and clap thunder, we open to that, the very elegance that can lap the water upon the shore of the lake, the very soft and gentle breeze that caresses our cheek or has the power of a hurricane. That same power of creation resides right where we are, for we are born in the image and likeness of God. And to the degree that we return home in our consciousness and access our true nature, we remember that it is our job to dance the elegant dance that is choreographed by brilliance and beauty, and that we are to bless everything and everyone, including ourselves. We take a moment as we bathe in the energy of blessings, as we absorb it and we radiate it, and I am just so grateful to bless this service, grateful for everything that has come together, a divine conspiracy to express love and truth and beauty and kindness and compassion. I'm grateful to bless everyone who is streaming in, those who are watching on the archives, those who are out wherever they are, blessing them with the holy light of passion and purpose and joy and prosperity and wellness. We bless everyone. And so I'm grateful to know that something wonderful is taking place. We have all said yes to a greater and grander vision and version of our lives than ever before. And we must be like a celestial sponge and absorb it all. Absorb God's glory to, through, and as our beingness. And it is from a place of deep and abiding thanksgiving and gratitude, knowing that we have everything we need, coded, loaded, embedded in our bones and our tissues, to experience joy, to experience goodness, to experience the effulgent light of God. We simply agree to allow it all to be. We claim it so. We allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen. Now I'd like to invite Jerome back for our Soul Center Agape affirmations.
Now we'll do our agape affirmation as a call and response. I'll speak a line, and then we'll repeat it back together. Today I expand my perception, change my direction, and set myself free.
Today I expand my perception, set my direction, and set myself free.
I am the embodiment of God-sourced energy.
I am the embodiment of God-sourced energy.
Whole, complete, and perfect.
Whole, complete, and perfect.
Abundance is always trending and never ending as my life.
Abundance is always trending and never ending as my life.
I thrive.
I thrive.
Bursts of enthusiasm and blasts of God's love propel me.
Bursts of enthusiasm and blasts of God's love propel me.
I soar.
I soar.
Everything is working together for my good.
Everything is working together for my good.
I can feel it in my bones.
I can feel it in my bones.
Gratefully I live these words of truth, and so it is. Amen.
Gratefully I live these words of truth. So it is. Amen. Thank you, Jerome. Once again, we are truly so grateful for him stepping out, being of service, and bringing his gifts for our community at this particular time. We are now getting ready for our inspirational song. I'm going to invite Jacqueline Brown Benefield back, and I just want you to sit back and enjoy.
I'm back. Okay, let me just get my little thing situated here. Let's bring this in a little bit. Okay. This. And my little band in a box. Yes, all of that. Okay. All right. Okay. So this first selection I'm doing is a song called Lean on Me, which was originally performed by Bill Withers, who made his transition a few weeks ago. And it's also a song I think that speaks to where we are right now. There's a lot of change, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of pain, and this is also a wonderful opportunity for transformation. And in these moments where we're kind of moving through these feelings of uncertainty or whatever it is that we're feeling, it's always good to know that we can lean on source that supports us, but also lean on each other. So the song is Lean on Me. Sometimes in our life, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. So lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show. So just call on me, brother, when you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. And I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, sister, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. And I just might have a problem that only you can understand. We all need somebody to lean on, yeah. And if there is a load that you have to bear, that you can't carry, well, I'm right up that road, and I'll share your load if you just call me. You just call me. Call me when you need a friend. Call me. I'm right here for you. Call on me. Call on me. You can lean on me. Yeah. Call on me. Call on me. When you need a friend, you just call me. Yes, call me and just lean on me. When you need a friend, I'm right here for you. Call me. Thank you. Yeah, let's put this back here.
Thank you, Jacqueline. That was beautiful, as always. Truly grateful, and yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. I absolutely love that song, and it is so pertinent to what is going on today. Good morning, Soul Center. My name is Reverend Keith. If you're just joining us, and I want to welcome you to Soul Center OC. We are located in Newport Beach, California, and when we resume services in person, I'm hoping to see you there. Yes. We are part of the Agape Association of Communities, affiliate of Agape International Spiritual Center, bringing you the teachings of the New Thought Ancient Wisdom movement, along with Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, a modern-day mystic who we are just truly grateful to have, bringing us into the 21st century with our spiritual practices and remembering that what does it mean to be an Agape affiliate? What does it mean to be part of the New Thought Ancient Wisdom teachings? It means that we take responsibility for our lives and our spiritual growth and our unfoldment in benevolent and beautiful ways. It means that we know that there is a golden thread of truth in the mystical realms of every religion, of every spiritual teaching that unites us all. That golden thread that rises above dogmas, it rises above discord and disharmony. It's where all the mystical teachers, all the sages, gurus, shamans, and masters agree in the one language of love, in the one mystical realm of goodness and equality and brilliance for all. These are the teachings that we connect to, that we espouse, and that we ask you to participate in, meaning that we know that God Almighty, God All Good, that is governing the universe with laws that are no respecters of persons, meaning that we're all subject to these laws, and every single one of us is on a chartered destiny of wholeness. Every single one of us will rise into our glory. How, when, and what that all looks like, it is up to you. It is up to you whether you want to do it arduously with hardship and discord and despair, or if you want to grasp onto that golden thread and allow it to lift you in benevolent and beautiful ways. And when we do that, still there might be a few arduous times, but it gets better and better and better. And like I said, in our New Thought Ancient Wisdom teachings, which acknowledge all the religions, as a matter of fact, to become an Agape licensed minister, you've got to study all the religions. And you know when you look at all of this, we're all the same, we're all united. Yes. And there was nothing in any scripture that says you are born in the image and likeness of God, but not you. Or stature or race or religion. You are the beloved in whom God is so pleased, and we are here to celebrate that and cultivate it and pull it out. And like I said a moment ago, we take responsibility. We take responsibility for what is going on in our lives, and we know that we're all connected. So I want to welcome you to our Sunday service. I want to welcome you into the realm, into the heart of God. I want to welcome you into a place where you are saying yes. If you don't know it, you're saying yes just by tuning in right now to a greater and grander, more benevolent version of your life than ever before. Something is seeking to emerge and rise up from within you that is good, better than you've ever experienced. And I'm saying, yes, we're going to grab it and we're going to go with it. So today, as we're in June, as we're moving through a lot that's going on in the world, the theme of the month is auspicious opportunities. Auspicious opportunity means that something beyond the human sensorium is taking place. There's a divine call, always is, but sometimes that call gets so brought to the surface that we see things that look like crisis. And we know that a crisis is waiting to bring us through to a next level of goodness. And the quicker, in the spiritual Olympics, everybody gets the gold, and it's the ones that turn to the gold the quickest that win the fastest. But everybody is going to win, so we're in the spiritual Olympics, and we're all going to go for the gold. The topic for today is tough times are the call of high resolve. And as we were saying just a moment ago, sometimes there are things in life, crises that come along, and they ask us to grow. They take us to the edge. They bring us to the edge in our own personal lives. And as we've been talking about over the past several weeks, we're all connected in the divine holy fabric of life. There's no escaping our interconnectivity, and there are layers to that connectivity. The first one, which we sometimes, when we don't understand how the human energy field, the droplet of water to the ocean, so you're the droplet of water to the ocean, that's your human energy field. That's your physical, emotional, and mental bodies, and we have a responsibility to take care of that for ourselves. We want to be a house united within ourselves. And as I've been reflecting over the past several weeks, we move out to the next energy body. There's a next field, and it is a holographic copy. You just copy paste from your own personal energy field to the energy field you would share with somebody else, a significant other, a best friend, a spouse, whomever it is in your life. When we get close with somebody else, that's where you get to magnify and intensify the energy and really get some growth opportunities there. I know all of us want to have that fairy tale experience where we marry and meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, and everything is just, oh my God, all my dreams have come true. You complete me. We know there is no you complete me in the divine. You're already complete. Nobody else is going to complete you. You will complete you. But in the realm of a relationship, you get to see very close up, close proximity with a relationship, a real good reflection of what's going on in here. And then from there, we move out to our family. Some of us have great kumbaya families, and some of us have discordant and disharmonious families. Whatever the case may be, that's the next field out, and we want to make sure that each of these fields that we're looking at them, that we're bringing them into alignment. We want to look into the field and bring them into alignment. There's no way, I hate to burst anybody's bubble, but there's no way to say, well, you get on my nerves, I'm just going to leave you over here, and I'm going to move over here and go about my business and think that this isn't. I know a lot of people who have disconnected from their biological families or their adoptive families. Whatever that family is, that is your family. And one way or another, it's going to be brought into a holy, sacred relationship. And then we move out from the family into our tribe, our community. And I know in all of the Agape affiliates and all the New Thought, for the most part, we have wonderful experiences in our tribe. Our tribe is generally where we move. When we're moving away from certain things, we want to move to a place that can hold us. Just like our beloved Soul Center community, where we can hold each other in the highest regard, in high resolve. And as our beautiful beloved Howard Thurman would say, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, meaning that we stay. So in good times, it's sometimes easy. So we try to cultivate these good times over here. Out to the next one, which is society. Society is the next energetic field. And I know I've been kind of bringing this up week by week to just really emphasize, because right now in society, we're experiencing ruptures. We're experiencing crises on a global level. There's been several that have been kind of back to back. Now, there's always a crisis going on somewhere in the world that we're all being able to take a look at. But what we care about is what comes into our consciousness. Whatever floats into your consciousness is what needs your attention and how you handle it. And if it comes into your consciousness, just please don't make the mistake of saying, this doesn't apply to me, because everything that comes into your consciousness, one way or the other, applies to you. And we want to bring everything into wholeness. And right now, I want you to imagine it's kind of like we've moved into a crisis that has brought us into an emergency room. We're in an emergency room, and what happens in an emergency room in a hospital, let's say, I hate to use this as an example, but there's a train crash, and there's an overwhelming influx of people that need attention. And so they come in, and what do the people in the emergency room, what do the healthcare professionals do? They prioritize. They prioritize, and they say, okay, this over here is the most in need, and so we're going to take care of this, and we're going to get to you in a minute because you're not as critical. We are in an emergency room moment, and when we enter the ER, we want to remember that ER stands for emergent room. We want to emerge from this room. Even in an emergency room, you want to emerge into something healthy. You're going to have those bones reset. You're going to have the stitches sewn up. But you're going to have compassionate, loving people there that are going to hold you. And they are no respecters of colors or creeds. And so right now we are in an emergency room situation where we all have to assess what's going on. We have to assess. And so as we're looking, as COVID brought us in, it brought us into a womb. It brought us into a space where we're to isolate. We're to isolate, and we know that the very nature of life is anything incongruent or out of integrity with God will rise to be healed. It is inevitable. If I am sitting with anything in me that is of prosperity or poverty consciousness, I will be lifted into prosperity consciousness. If I am sitting with anything that is in me that is in illness consciousness, I will be called into wellness consciousness. If I am holding anything in me that is of disharmony or disrespect consciousness, known or unknown, I'm going to be brought into harmony and respect. These are the laws of the universe. The divine inertia is pulling us into wholeness. And so we're in a situation right now where COVID brought us into a place where it's basically, in essence, was saying, Corona, remembering that Corona is crown, opening our crown chakra to providence and to guidance, to be still, to go home. Go home is the message, go home in God, and to be still. And when you're still, things tend to bubble up. If you're really participating in your own spiritual evolution and you're practicing your meditation and your prayer and anything that you need to do with regards to healing, there's healing and there's creation. And so sometimes we're focused on creation and it's just like, ooh, what am I creating? And other times we're focusing on healing. And healing are those things that would keep us constricted or small or in worry, doubt, and fear. And so sometimes we have to look, and when we are still, when we allow ourselves, as it says in the A Course in Miracles, well, I'm paraphrasing a little bit. First I'll come into what I say. What I say is we move into the great remembering of who and whose we are. What A Course in Miracles says is that the memory of God comes to the quiet mind. The memory of God comes to the quiet mind. That's the great remembering you're born in the image and likeness of God. It is the great remembering of knowing that underneath any struggle, strife, or turmoil, power, presence, and goodness is, and that's where we participate. And so as we look out into the world, and COVID brought us stillness for a little while there, for that month or so, people were starting to still. Now I know some people were going through things where they were being brought in with sickness and were healing, etc. on that level. But many people were brought into the stillness, to be still, to stop doing business as usual. And people couldn't go to work the way they did. And so we're given this opportunity, and things bubble up. And we, as we look out into society, have been sitting on a rupture, awaiting to happen, as we look at what's going on in our communities with our brothers and sisters in the black community. And we are all part of this. And just like a family with a mother and a father that would have several children, if one of them is in need, or if you're in the ER and somebody needs more attention than someone else, you turn to them and you give them your attention. And you be there for them, and you be there for them without judging or saying, oh, you need to do it this way or you need to do it that way. You be there for them in the way that they need you to be there for them. And so that's what we're being called upon. And it makes it super easy if you're doing your spiritual practice. Because I know there's some people, I've been talking to a myriad of people of all races and all religions over the past couple weeks. And some people, I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to say. I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing or whatever. And there's people who, believe that certain things have to be done a particular way. And that's all well and fine and good. But when you're steeped in the holy presence, you'll know what to say and you'll know what to do and operate from a place of compassion, true, pure, holy compassion. And then you'll allow the omniamorous aspect of God, the active presence of God, to guide you onto what you're on. First and foremost, we need to hold a place. And anybody who's been around me, I love to pray dream. A pray dream is like a daydream, except daydreams often are like, well, wouldn't it be nice if... And then in a daydream, we kind of discount it. But a pray dream is like, no, it is nice. Show me what it's like. Show me, divine intelligent, what it looks like. So I like to pray dream because one of the aspects of what's going on in our culture right now on something that is hundreds of years in the making. Now, we've had some incremental rises in consciousness here and there, but we know God is 100%. There's no, we're going to have 50% equality and then that'll be good enough. No, that's not the way it works. It works at 100% equality for everyone. And we know just as God is no respecter of persons, of stature, or anything else, that we are all one in this. And so when our brothers and sisters of a community come to us, no matter where we are, if it comes into your consciousness, we meet them and we greet them where they're at, steeped in a presence of, yes, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth, and I am here with you, not because there's a you and a me, and I'm going to help you in some way, because there's a we. We're together. And until the least of us, whatever you do unto the least of me, you have done unto me. And so we move into the vibration where we say yes to the call that we come together and we're there for everyone. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. In my pray dream, I imagine, what is it like? You've heard me talk before where there's two columns in life. There's the column of life where you're in creation. You're just living from that place. You're like Jacqueline, you're singing and you're letting your gifts shine so brilliantly and you're blessing people. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. And this ceaseless flow of energy is expressing itself. And then there's column B where you're healing things. You're healing mistakes we've made. We're healing where maybe I accidentally had harbored hatred or discrimination or judgment. Maybe we're healing those things, and trust me, those things will come up for healing. When to enter the kingdom of heaven, which is not a place, it's a consciousness, and to enter the kingdom of heaven, which sometimes we're in it and then we come out of it, and then we're in it again and then we come out of it. But remember, it's 100% experience, and there will be no separation in that experience at 100%. And so when we're moving into that space where we're in the pray dream, I'm like, what is it like? What is it like to live in a world where there is no discrimination, where there is no racism, where we all live from pure creation, where we're no longer healing something, where we're living in complete harmony with each other. That's what I like to pray, dream about. And this is where we capture the vision. So as we capture the vision of what does it look like to be in a world where there is no racism or ageism or genderism or any of the isms. But right now, we are looking at something where we need to give our attention in the emergency room or the emergent room to those who need it most. And so we are there for those who need it most, and we'll get to everybody else too. And you'll know when and where to get to everybody else because it'll come into your consciousness. Yeah. That's how you know what you're to participate in. It comes into your consciousness. Right now, there are things happening on corners of the globe that we know nothing about. And if you need to know something about it, it'll come into your consciousness. We live in a time where all of that is at the touch of a button. We can find all of that. So I'm going to invite you to first and foremost allow yourself to move into a place where we're holding for all of our brothers and sisters, and we're understanding, we know, and again, I'm not the authority on how this all works from a racial perspective, but I am an authority on how it works from a spiritual perspective. Yes. And from a spiritual perspective, we know that that which needs our attention and our intention and our love and our compassion is what we go to. We move to it. And we know that whatever we're being called to will reveal itself to us. And we know that there is no they, but sometimes if somebody's feeling like a they or an other or an outsider, then we gotta be there for them until that has been dissolved out of the entirety of that field of energy that we call society. There's a field of energy called society, and so we're going to always bounce between there's my world with somebody else, there's my world with my family, there's my world with my tribe, and there's my world with society. And we need to make sure that all of those worlds, which are all one, but it's a way that we can see as we look into the mirror of life and we see what reflects back to us, how we can be there for people. And so, as we know, and I've heard some people say, and I think we're all good on this. I think we're all good on this now, but just in case, when people say things like, well, Black Lives Matter, well, all lives matter, but right now, we need to be there in this particular way. We know that other part. But when your little girl or your little boy comes to you and they need the attention the way they need it, you're there for them. And I in no way am trying to diminish any of this, except I'm trying to bring this up into the light, saying we all take personal responsibility. That's what we do in our spiritual community. In our spiritual community, we take responsibility not only for ourselves, but we take responsibility for humanity at large. And we know that going even beyond the societal construct, when we finally get that right, then we can move into interspecies consciousness where we understand that we're all connected. The grain of grass, the blade of grass, the granule of sand, the oceans, the mountains, we're all connected. But whatever, as we move into the ER and we see where there's a crisis and we bring our consciousness so that we can be there in the way that your soul wants you to be there. So this isn't some sort of spiritual tenet or dictate that's a rule. This is what your soul wants you to do. This is what your soul is asking you to rise into. So we have to remember that in our spiritual in our tradition, in the New Thought Ancient Wisdom teachings, like I said earlier, we ask you to participate in your conscious evolution. And so to the degree that you'd like to, if you want to go through and become at Soul Center, one of our prayer chaplains in the New Thought Ancient Wisdom teachings at Agape, maybe a Agape licensed spiritual practitioner, whatever it is, we ask you to become aware of the spiritual laws and the principles that undergird all life. We ask you to participate in that. And then we ask you to act from it and live from it and bring it in to an expressive form. We ask you to really dive in. And so when we read in Scripture, give me your heart, my son. Let your eyes delight in my ways. That is from the Hebrew Bible. Give me your heart, my son, and let your eyes delight in my ways. That means, it's another way of saying, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth, but your heart, this is the nexus point where our soul and our human paradigm come together. And when the heart is heard, it knows how to understand the language of the soul. When our heart understands the language of the soul, then like I said earlier, you know how to be there for someone. You don't have to worry about stepping on eggshells or saying the wrong thing. You just know because we're all connected and we're all united, and it's inevitable. And so we want to emerge. So many of you have heard the other way of phrasing it, emerge and see. So we're going from an emergency to an emergence and seeingness, but there's the C's that are involved, and they aren't the S-E-Es, they're the capital letter C. The C's that we participate in are connection. We have to connect. We see by connecting to the world in a particular vibrational frequency where we align in our spiritual practice with divine strength. We're fortified and we're amplified so that we can go out in the world but not be of the world, that we can have our leper consciousness and we can walk in to the leper colony knowing that we can be there for people but not be pulled down into it. So we want to feel our connection to life because we're all connected. So we're emerging into the sea of connection, and then we're moving into the sea of compassion. We want to have compassion, and I'm not talking about superficial, nicety, polite, lowercase c compassion. I'm talking about the real deal, capital C compassion that comes from your heart and your soul. How do you get there? You invite it, you evoke it, you allow it, you say, okay, show me what that's like. Show me. We use the power of inquiry in our spiritual practice to evoke energies so that we may experience them at a deeper level. Right now, most of us are walking around, we're experiencing on any given day probably 10% of what God or what love has to give us, to express through us, because it filters through our trauma body, which diminishes the purest, holiest experience. And when we go up 1%, 3%, 5%, it starts to feel like nirvana, but you don't even know what bliss and nirvana is until you get to 100%, which is off the charts. We've got a lot of work to do here, folks, and I'm giving you the roadmap. We're going from connection to compassion. We're emerging into the C, the letter C of cooperation. Cooperation, there's a law of cooperation, and that cooperation undergirds all life. You wouldn't even be watching this right now if your body wasn't cooperating with itself to breathe your breath and take that oxygen and circulate it as your heart pumps and gets all the blood to flow, and your muscles follow the call of your mind that allow me to raise my hands right now and speak my voice. There's an energy of cooperation that undergirds all life, and there's an energy of cooperation seeking to be expressed through all of us in all of the races and all of the religions. And so we need to turn and be there. When the crisis, when the alarm bells goes off, we say, okay, what do I need to wake up to? What do I need to wake up to? Now I know some of you are thinking, well, there was all the protests and then there was opportunists who were doing this and that. Well, guess what? We need to be there for the looters too. We need to hold them in divine right consciousness right where they are. They're not looting just randomly. They feel victimized as well. And we need to hold them in their holy light. When they're operating from their holy light, then they don't need to take from anybody else because their God is the source and their supply. So we're not selective. We got to hold the police, the good ones and the bad ones. If I'm in my pray dream mode, then an officer who is behaving poorly or out of integrity and doing unthinkable crimes wakes up. They wake up and they understand what has happened. And they rise into their greatness and they seek redemption and they seek forgiveness. Because anybody who is not forgiven and doesn't go through the redemptive process, do you think that we're just going to have a whole bunch of people over here in their bad behavior and that it's just going to go away. We have to hold them in their wholeness. We hold those that need our immediate attention in the ER in their wholeness, and we're there for them in compassionate, connective, and cooperative ways. And then sometimes the tough work. There was a show, 60 Minutes did an episode a little over a year and a half ago. It was the Restorative Justice Project. I would look it up. The Restorative Justice Project took people who had had horrific crimes committed against them. Many times, like in this one case, a woman had been shot in her head by some people, a gentleman who was stealing her car. And the Restorative Justice Project, what they do is they take the victim and the villain and they bring them together so that there can be a healing that takes place. And when you see someone, it's pretty horrific to imagine that somebody shot someone in their head to steal their car. And I apologize for the graphics here. But I just got to stress the importance. And then years later, they come together because we know that resentment and bitterness doesn't do anybody any good. So the woman who was shot in her resentment and in her bitterness knew she had to come into healing. And so they bring together. And the gentleman who did it, who had been in prison for many, many years, they have to agree. Of course, they have to agree. They brought them together, and there was a healing, and you could see it. You could see it in their eyes. You could feel it in your heart. There was a genuine healing that took place. He was redemptive. He was seeking forgiveness, and she forgave him, and it was real, and it was complete. The cycle is done on both ends of the spectrum. Both ends came into completion. There was a couple other examples in that episode. I'd invite you to go search it and find it and watch it. It's powerful, powerful to see full circle healing where somebody who has committed a horrific crime, a hurt against someone else, realizes what they've done wrong. Now, he's still going to be in jail for the rest of his life. That stays the same. But he's been liberated in his soul. He's been liberated, and she's been liberated. And it is a powerful thing when we know that. So in our pray dreaming, when we move into the pray field, this is what we're holding. We're not holding for a partial experience of goodness. We're holding for a complete one. And we know that, as I have just demonstrated over the past several weeks, as we've been talking about these different fields of energy, whatever is affecting us out in the societal field is affecting us in our own personal cosmology. Whatever is affecting or reflecting in your relationship with your family or your BFF or your significant other, whatever is happening, there's no escaping our oneness. There's no escaping our goodness. So we have to turn within and, like I said, take responsibility. There's no they over there on that side of the world or those people on those side of the tracks. That doesn't exist. We want to be in a world where the isms have been transmuted and risen into. We want to go from ism to risen. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for that, and so I'm going to invite you to pray dream with me as we move into the prayer field, and I'm going to invite you to emerge and see the connection, the compassion, and the cooperation that is in all life. You have everything you need, and we just ask you to participate in your own human evolution. It's your soul. You can't get away from your soul. You just can't. You can't get away from God. You just can't. It's inevitable that you're going to rise into your goodness. So you might as well let it be fun, and you might as well let it be good. And in order to let it be fun, and in order to let it be good, you gotta participate. You gotta get in the game and not ignore. None of us in our community are on the path of ignorance. To ignore something that is going on is not a spiritual practice. We get in there. How am I going to hold this? What is my role in this? And as we are in our sincere conviction, we allow ourselves to be still and know that I am, and allow that to reveal itself, then we are truly participating in the healing of the world. And it all makes sure that we're healing our world when we rise, all unto us rise. So I'm going to invite you to join me as we move into a pray dream, into the prayer field. We take a moment to turn within. Oh, how good it is to know that no matter what is going on in the world, whether there is turmoil or struggle or strife, no matter what is going on, at whatever level, we can stop to the holy presence. We can stop and return home to the very heart, to the very light, to the very mind of God. To the great remembering that above and beyond the human experience is the divine experience that undergirds everything. And so I'm grateful to know that God Almighty, God all good, is in our bones, our cells, and our tissues, closer to us than our neck vein, than our hands and feet. We rise into the light, the grace, the beauty, and the intelligence that coded the seeds with such brilliance to grow into the fruits, into the vegetables, into the flowers, into the trees that exude this dynamic flow of oxygen into the air, that we may breathe it and return to them the carbon dioxide, that we participate in this flow of interconnectivity. How grateful I am to know that we are all connected and that we are all part of a huge, magnificent field of oneness and goodness that we call God. And as each and every one of us says yes to participating in the great remembering of our spiritual evolution, the great remembering of the perfect blueprint, no matter what is going on, there is a perfect societal blueprint. That we know that there is the version where there's no such thing as separation, as racism, or any of the other isms. There is only oneness, and we are choosing to see and know and feel the world where it is already healed, where we are already living in the answered prayer. This is what we choose to hold on to right now. And so I'm grateful to know that microcosmically in our own world and macrocosmically in the world at large, we have said yes to a greater and grander vision of harmony and peace and love and reverence and respect. We do this by evoking it, by calling it forward. We use the power of inquiry as our evocation to say, show me what is seeking to emerge and express through loving, benevolent, and beautiful ways. Show me what I am to know, receive, and do. Show me what I am to allow into my beingness, that I might follow the elegant impulse, the call of the soul, the law of emergence. I'm just grateful to know that each one of us has said yes to feeling our connection and our compassion and our cooperation that undergirds life, and that it rises from us like the phoenix from the ashes, born anew, birthing into a new paradigm in this world, in this auspicious time. And we have said yes. And we know that where two or more are gathered, where we hold to the vision, the holy vision, the 100% vision of wholeness, great and grand and glorious things are to emerge. For this is the very nature of life, this is the very nature of our lives. And we are claiming it so, we are seeking and finding it so, we are bringing it into our experience right here, right now. And we must ground this energy. We must move into divine receptivity. We must let go of the idea that, oh no, this will never happen. No, it is already done in the mind of God. It is already done. We move over to that dimension. We move into that consciousness, for it is already done in the mind of God. Peace, harmony, love, joy, mutual beneficial reverence, and love and respect already exists in the mind of God. We connect to it. We allow it to be. And we must move into that space where we receive our good. We receive the impulse of God, of our soul, as we release this prayer into the law, knowing it is the law that will doeth the work, and it is the law of inspiration that will bring the enthusiasm, that will bring the wisdom and the knowingness of what to do and when to do it, and how to expand from glory to greater glory, good to greater good. And so I'm grateful to know that even during a time of crisis, there are many millions of experiences right now, billions of compassionate, loving experiences of camaraderie and compassion and love that are happening right now, on earth right now. And we choose to exploit that. Exploit the goodness, exploit the compassion, exploit the love. We are exploiting it, expanding it in our own worlds and in the world. And it is from a place of deep and abiding appreciation and thanksgiving that we allow it all. We allow it to be so. We ground it so. Ground it into the earth. Find your earth star. Ground it. And let it be. And then agree. By signing on the spiritual dotted line, put your own John Hancock, your own name, sign on it by saying, and so I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe, Aho, Shalom, Mahalo, Hotep, and Hallelujah. Thank you, Soul Center. Thank you for everybody who's streaming in. We're going to move into our... Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Jerome. Thank you for everyone for being here. We're moving into our time of conscious circulation, that which we call tithing, the highest expression. If you really want to experience infinite prosperity, I invite you to explore what real tithing means. Tithing isn't an obligation. It's not something you have to do. It's something in its highest form that you're like, oh my God, I can feel the energy of infinite supply circulating through me. That's the vibration I'd like you to participate in as we get ready to tithe. If you're on soulcenteroc.com, you can go scroll down to a safe and secure donate button. You can donate right now. We'd really appreciate it. If you are on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, please migrate over to soulcenteroc.com, or you can text. You can text GIVE to area code 669-342-2157. Again, you can text the word GIVE to area code 669-342-2157. Any time of day, anything you'd like to do. We appreciate all of you who have been helping pick up the slack. Some people have been furloughed. Some people are looking for employment right now. We're holding all of those on our prayer list in that space. And so if you can give a little extra, you'll get a little extra. We really appreciate that. And again, you can hit our donate button, soulcenteroc.com. We appreciate it. We are going to get ready to move into our next inspirational song. And I'm going to invite Jacqueline back, and then we will come back afterwards for our blessing of the offering.
I'm back. Reverend Keith, I just have to say again, thank you so much for your beautiful and inspirational words. I mean, just... okay, let me get my system back on. Okay. All right. So I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. So the next song I'm doing is called I Was Here. I've done it before. I love this song, and I think that it's very appropriate for who and what is it we want to be in this world and how we want to step up and step out. Notice me, I'll be leaving my mark like initials carved in an old oak tree. You wait and see. Maybe I'll write like Maya Angelou. Maybe paint like Faith Ringo. Cure the common cold. I don't know, but I'm ready to start, 'cause I know in my heart I want to do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I want to do something better with the time I've been given, and I want to try to touch a few hearts in this life and leave nothing less than something that says I was here. I will prove you wrong. If you think I'm all talk, you're in for shock, 'cause this dream's too strong. And before too long, maybe I will compose symphonies, maybe work for world peace, 'cause I know it's my destiny to leave more than a trace of myself in this space. I wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I wanna do something better with the time I've been given, and I wanna try to touch a few hearts in this life and leave nothing less than something that says I was here. And I know that I will do more than just pass through this life and leave nothing less than something that says I was here. 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 Yeah, I was here. Can you just turn this off? Yeah. Thank you.
Whatever feels. I love that song. I love you. I love that rendition. So, I mean, did you feel that in your heart? Oh, that was delicious and good. And I thank you once again. Yes. I thank you for being here, being part of our community.
Absolutely.
We're getting ready to bless our offering. And I want to just highlight again, if you're somehow you missed the part before that beautiful song, you can go to soulcenteroc.com. You can click on the donate button. You can text give to 669-342-2157. But I just want you to, whenever you're participating in donating or tithing, be prepared to open up the floodgates to receiving. I really want you to open up the floodgates to receiving. It's like, if you want to experience a God wink, you'll experience it when you immerse yourself in this practice. So, with that being said, I'm going to invite you to all join me as we would do if we were all together in person. We're going to outstretch our prayer, our heart to our hands, our blessings. As we bestow them, we give thanks, knowing that something wonderful is seeking to emerge, and we are in this divinely receptive state of gratitude as we open into ever-expanding good, as we open into a fertile field of God's infinite supply that shows up as resources, it shows up as kindness, and it shows up as generosity, and it shows up as financial freedom. And knowing that we are holding in our community, that not only is soul center thriving, not only are all spiritual center thriving, that as we specifically own for our community that field of energy that is our community, our tribe, our new home, our new building, our classrooms, our sanctuary, everything necessary to just have the most glorious experience. We hold it individually and collectively and individually, that all who enter our field are blessed and caressed with infinite good, source and supply, financial freedom and joy, wellness, abundant and benevolent. It is from a place of gratitude and thanksgiving. We claim it, we allow it to be, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you all again. Thank you for tithing. Thank you for signing up for our newsletter. Thank you for participating in our Sunday service. We're getting ready to close out with our peace song. So if there's any member of your family, if there's a little one in another room that you need to go get and bring in so that we can all participate in our peace song, our closing out for today's service, go ahead and do that. I'm going to invite Jacqueline to come back over here. She's going to lead us in our peace song. And I'm inviting you to stand up and participate as well.
Yes. Can you see me? Okay. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Oh, as we let peace and love and wellness and goodness begin with us and ripple out, blessing and caressing everything and everyone, we take a moment and we say yes, even more than ever before, to being the harbingers, the messengers, the light bearers of truth and good tidings, joy and wellness in every way, shape, and form. Truly grateful. We claim it so. We allow it to be so, even more, even now. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, Soul Center, thank you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. We'll see you on our affirmative prayer calls, and we'll see you back here next week. Namaste.